Hello, my friends. I'm going to be doing a Dutch pour on this large canvas. It's 24 by 36. That's the largest I've done. I've done a couple this size, but never any bigger. And it's always a bit intimidating to work on something this big because of the amount of paint you have to use. So I'm using a tried and true recipe and technique. Dutch pour using Liquitex Basics Fluid Paints. I'm really happy with the way they work out on a Dutch pour. I'll put the recipe down below, but my colors are turquoise blue, light blue permanent, brilliant purple. This is phthalo blue with a bit of white in it. This is phthalo blue with a bit of Paynes gray in it. I want to do a darker shade of it. I just didn't care for the phthalo blue on its own. It's a little too purple. So adding white, adding Paynes gray, that worked out well. Then I wanted some metallics, and the gold, the Liquitex Fluid Gold is not that pretty. It's kind of blah. It's pretty when it dries, but it doesn't look that good right now. So I used up what I had, and then I punched it up with a bit of 24K gold by Deco Art. And then I wanted a copper. They don't make copper, so I used up my Artist Loft, squeezed out what I could, ran a little short on that, so I added some burnt orange in Modern Masters. It came up with a nice, rich, orangey copper color. So I think that'll be pretty with the blues. So my base coat is going to be white. I toyed around with something else, tinting the color, but I think I'm just going to go with white. And I have an idea for something I've never tried before, but I don't want to try it on such a big canvas. So let me put down my base coat, and then I'll come back and we'll blow this puppy out. Oh, I am going to be using my big hair dryer because it has a cool setting on it. I love the little flower one for Dutch pours, but with something this big, it does tend to get hot because there's no cool setting on it. It gets hotter and hotter. This has a cool setting, so I'm going to be using this for this large canvas. And let me show you. I do have one embellishment to show you. I have been wanting to paint a moose for the longest time, and I found a wonderful photo reference and came up with this guy. It's this was some kind of pour that was a bomb, but I just tilted until it looked like a snowy winter scene. So it was perfect for this moose, and here it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. So that's that. All right, let me stop here, and I'll be back after I get the white base coat put down. Alrighty. Well, that took a while. I'm glad I did that off camera because it took quite a while and I didn't even have enough white mixed up. I had to quickly mix some more. I think I used 48 ounces of paint mix in white to cover this large canvas. So, yeah, but it's done and here we go. Now, how to spread the paint on here? I think I'll initially just go with a nice curvy line across one end to the other, and then I'll make little branches off of that. Let's just go for it. Sometimes I start off the canvas, sometimes I don't. There's really no rhyme or reason. Maybe I'll do all the little branches first. Scrape the cup into the white. I'm going to start with that as my basic layout, and I can add to it if necessary. I'm not opposed to even blowing the entire thing out and covering up the white if I feel like it. I might just do that. We'll see. Run that kind of alongside rather than on top of. Well, the turquoise, this is pretty right now. I hope this color is going to look good with it. I don't know. You know, it's all in the same blue family. Should be okay. Now the gold and copper, but I'm going to use that sparingly. I'll just run some gold here. And where shall I place the copper? I think next to the gold. Now one more thing. I'm going to go back with the dark blue, the darkest. I'll just add a little more of that. I think I'll just concentrate it in this area, which may end up being kind of the focal point. I think. Maybe that other dark blue as well. Okay, I have a little more of every color left, but I'm going to blow this out and see what we got. I haven't used this hairdryer in a long time, in a year or more, so I'm nervous about that. In fact, I don't think this is the hairdryer I used to use, although it has paint on it. I must have used it at some point. Anyway, on cool, I'm going to try it on low to begin with. And here we go. Okay, well, I'm not in love with the copper. I don't like that, and I don't like the purple either. But I don't hate it. I don't think I want to blow the whole thing out. I do like negative space. Let me just do some curly cues. On some of these protrusions. Oh, so much paint. So much paint. I don't like that. I don't like that part. I don't like purple in there. How would that look if I got rid of that? Do I dare? No, no. I'm not going to risk ruining the whole thing because there's one section I don't like. I can always paint over that when it's dry if it bothers me. I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. And I don't want to keep blowing it out because that's when you get in trouble, when you just keep going over areas. You know, maybe it's not too bad. Let me bring you in for a closer look. Actually, that's kind of pretty there. I like the little round cells. I don't like really big cells, as you probably know if you've watched me for any length of time. That's about as big as I like to get, but they're nice and round. They're kind of cute. Look at those over here. Looks like a little blue pearl. Little orange ones, a little copper rather. That's kind of nice, actually. You know what? I guess the copper isn't a problem. And maybe the purple isn't either. I don't know. I'll let it dry. I'll stand it up and I might be in love with it. Who knows? Okay, my friends. Thank you for joining me. And I'm thinking of doing a ribbon pour on one of my other giant canvases. What do you think of that? Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.